not summon.
I thought you infiltrated this place.
Raptus uses his magic to constantly shift the walls.
Then how will you know where we'll find him?
I don't. In fact, I'm not sure I'll know him if I see him. I've only seen him once, and that was in a shadow.
Great. We have a guide who doesn't know where he's going, leading us to a man he won't know on sight. You guys are on your own.
Well, that's fine. I work better alone anyways. If we split up, we'll be able to cover more territory.
Okay, thief. You're walking along. You hear something around a wall. What do you want to do?
I'll cut him to shreds.
Elf, you hear something. What do you want to do?
I'll set upon it with a vengeance.
Elf!
Thief!
Nothing back there.
Nothing here. Let's straight.
You come to the end of a corridor. That's odd. It doesn't seem like there should be a wall here.
I'll try to find a secret entrance.
Roll the die. You see something that confounds you. The wizard has stepped through the wall as if it were made of smoke.
Wizard, where are you? Come on.
You hear a laughing sound not too far away.
Does my elven lord tell me anything?
It sounds like a couple of stupid orcs.
These guys are too dumb to be dangerous. I don't want to hurt them.
Well, what were they guarding?
They're garbage.
Wizard and warrior, you see a shadow on the wall. It looks like a minotaur.
Well, let's go toast them. Let's save our strength for something we really need to fight.
Only something truly worthwhile would warrant a door such as this. Where's a thief when you need one?
You need a lot more than a thief.
Well, pick the lock, thief. That is what you're good for, isn't it?
Stand aside.
What are you doing?
Checking for traps.
Why didn't you do that before I tried opening it?
Because I figured if there were any traps, you would trigger them.
Oh, very funny.
Guess we should have picked a better thief.
Why did you smash it with your head? That seems to be all that it's good for, isn't it?
Major mistake.
You're on the brink of a fight to the death with a man-scorpion. Let's go through this battle one step at a time and then watch it all play out.
Well, I'm gonna try and roll out of the way.
Dexterity die?
Well, how do I find that out?
Look at your card under dexterity.
Well, it shows a blue die. Is that good?
Well, you, because you're so big and uncoordinated, have to roll a 6 or higher to dodge the man-scorpion.
Oh, very funny.
The elf will shoot an arrow.
You might hit your friend.
That's okay, I don't know him very well.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Just kidding.
We might as well shoot. I'm dead if he doesn't.
I'll crack him with my whip.
And I'll cast a magic missile.
So let's put it all together and see what happens.
Great, I got a defective wand. I'll throw a spell.
Which one?
Hold person.
The spell takes effect. It's as if he's working in slow motion.
I'll grab his stinger and try and stab him with it.
Roll the die. He's dead, killed by his own poison.
If Taraptus put a man-scorpion in here, he must be guarding something.
Forget him and get me out, you idiot! Who's calling us idiot? If you know what's good for you, you'll use your thick skulls for something and find me, you fools!
Voice sounds dwarfen.
Brilliant deduction, you fakester! Now get me out!
Why should we help one who insults us?
Who is this fount of stupidity?
I am Greenthorn, the elf.
Oh! I'm shaking in my boots. You mumbling tree nuzzler! I am the one who fashioned the Sunstone from a solid block of ice, and I'm the only one who can destroy it. Believe me, I don't look forward to your company any more than you look forward to mine.
Can we trust this guy?
You'd be a fool to trust me. But just because you can't trust me doesn't mean you don't need me.
I'm not fond of dwarves. But if we need him, we have no choice.
Dwarf, if you made the Sunstone, why has Taraptus imprisoned you? Are you gonna let me out or not?
Not until you answer the question.
If I did answer, you wouldn't believe my answer, would you?
Well, he has a point. The answer is obvious. If the dwarf created the Sunstone, he can also destroy it. So to protect it from destruction, the sorcerer has jailed the dwarf. Now where's your door?
There is no door, you half-wit! You only make a door if you plan on releasing somebody. He never planned on letting me go. I'm walled in here!
It'll take us all night to knock down a wall.
Not with my hammer?
If your hammer is so great, why don't you use it to knock the wall down?
Because I don't have my hammer, you dunderhead! It's on the man-scorpion's belt.
This doesn't look like much of a hammer to me.
Then don't look at it. Use it, you dupe! Out!
Much to your amazement, the wall shatters, revealing a dwarf. But unfortunately, the spell has caused the whole room to crumble into nothingness, and you all tumble into a black void.
Dwarf, where do you think you're going?
Shh! Maybe I know something you don't know.
Taraptus!
King's jester?
I should have known when you returned my wand to me.
Failure is made of should-haves.
The king will be very interested to know who you really are.
Unfortunately for you, you will be unable to warn the king of my true identity. Rise up, flames. Rise up, fire elemental. Use your rage to engulf my enemies.
All the men are mesmerized by the fire elemental.
Boys, snap out of it! Dwarf, throw your hammer at the sunstone!
Through your own hammer, Thomas, give him!
Trouble! We're in real trouble.
Come on, guys!
I've got an idea. The fire elemental is made of fire, and the sunstone is made of ice.
Let's put the two together.
I'll take 2 of the supports out with arrows.
And I'll take one out with a magic missile.
I've got a dagger for the other one.
Now you're working together.
I thought they were supposed to be tough.
The spell is broken. Look, Thief, there are jewels where the elemental was.
We gotta kill these things more often. Oh, just a few more?
Beware! He's using his power to change.
Nice to know you can use something besides your big
Take
mouth.
that flame breath!
We gotta get out of here before he takes another breath.
Through the magic portal.
I dislike such magic.
Anywhere's better than here?
Suit yourself. You again?
We just came from Taraptus' castle.
Taraptus is your jester.
Surely you jest.
How do we stop him?
Still come! Face me, Taraptus.
What power do you hold over Taraptus?
The power to heal him, to kill the undead, is to heal them.
I owe you my life.
Is it an honor to serve you, King Halvar II? Master of the realm, Lord of the lands, to you I owe my fealty.
I appreciate the fealty. Now, bring me the jewels.
Surrender the jewels to Halvar II, King of the kings and Lord of all the lands.
Okay, I'll surrender the jewels. Just spare me the titles.
Ow!
Have you all failed to notice the real treasure? The green we have brought to this land.
The difference between us is that you love green and I love gold. Unfortunately, so does the king.
Well, shall we venture to Strathmore Castle?
Yeah, when I'm broke again.
Oh, too bad. For I have no use for the jewels within.
Did you say jewels?
The video you've just seen represents elements from many of the adventures in your Dragon Strike game box. Do not turn the VCR off yet. This is a special section of the tape for Dragon Masters only. When everyone who is not presently interested in becoming a Dragon Master has left the room, we may begin. Until then, kindly cast a pause video spell on your VCR. Are you sure nobody's listening at the door? At the window? Very well. Then we can proceed. As you've just seen, the Dragon Strike game is unlike any game you've ever played before. In what other game can you visit the nastiest castles in the world and bring your friends along for the ride? The key is that all the players must work together as a team in order to win. And you as the Dragon Master must make the world unfold before their very eyes. Your role is all important. You set the stage for the players, presenting the quest they must follow. Only you know where the treasure is buried. Only you know where the clues are hidden. And only you know where the dangers lie. Now don't forget, a great Dragon Master isn't afraid to ham it up. Sure, the monsters just want to beat the heroes up, but it's a lot more fun when they do it with style.
Rise up, fire elemental. Use your rage to engulf my enemies.
The game rules and adventure cards will give you tips about what the monster might say. The rest of the time, just make it up. Follow the game's guidelines about how smart the monster is and what motivates him, and have fun with it.
I'm walled in here!
The instructions will tell you that the dwarf is telling the truth. And when the chips are down, he'll help the party. A Dragon Master can win the game if the players make bad moves, move too slowly, or don't act together as a team. To make the game more challenging for the heroes, you get to set some of the traps at the start of each adventure. But that doesn't mean you can cheat or ignore the rules. For example, if a monster is about to die, resist the temptation to save it. In fact, there's really only one rule to being a great Dragon Master. The real object of the game is for everybody to have fun. And if the game isn't fair, nobody will. Now you have all the secret knowledge you need. I'll give you one way to start. Feeling brave tonight? How brave? Brave enough to do battle with hideous monsters? Brave enough to sneak around dank castles in the dark and chance being the next victim of a dragon strike?
miniature painting. Hey everyone, you're watching Squid More Miniatures, I'm Emil, and believe me, there are tons and tons of videos out there on what brush techniques there are, which brush techniques to use, which one is the best, and how to use them. But I wanted to focus it down to the 5 techniques that I wish that I had in my toolbox when I got started, and I took this journey myself about 3 years ago, and it's still fresh to me what techniques that I found was a bit overkill when I got started, and which ones I found was very helpful when I get started. So I made it simple, 5 techniques that I think you should learn when you're just getting started and that you should try to master before maybe jumping into the more advanced ones. And before we get started, there's 2 things that I assume that you've already done. Number 1, you already primed your miniature. And number 2, you're using a wet palette. And if you don't know what a wet palette is, I did a video entirely on this topic. It's one of my best videos. And if you haven't checked that one out, I put it up here in the show notes. So go check that one out after you watch this video. And you might learn tons of great tricks and techniques for your miniature painting. But with that said, let's jump in. Number 1. Base coating. Putting on a proper base coat is the foundation for your whole miniature painting process. And deciding to not put on a proper base coat is pretty much like building a house without a foundation. It might look decent, it might look good, but if you want to make it properly and make sure that you have smooth transitions and great coverage, the base coat is crucial. When putting on base coats, I like to go fast. It's definitely not my favorite part of the painting process, so I often use a bigger brush, a lot bigger than the detail brushes that I use when I start painting the highlights. You can use a big round one, a nylon brush that's cheap and huge that you got from Wish or Amazon. Anything that just gets the paints on there and get it on there fast. If you're like me, you're using a wet palette, the paints will be a little bit thinned down, so sometimes you might have to go 2 layers with certain colors to make sure that you get the full coverage. But it's definitely worth getting a good layer on there if you want to have a foundation that lasts you throughout the painting process that you don't have to go back to and add to later. Number 2, layering. Layering is probably the most common way of using your brush and adding highlights to your miniature. For me, it's about 90% of my painting process, and it's the thing that I enjoy the most. And what is layering? Well, it's pretty much just common painting. It means that you're adding one layer on top of an existing one with paint and letting that dry before you add another one. But using layering in the right way can give you super smooth transition and make your miniature look amazing without it taking a lot of time. So how do we get these super sweet transitions? Well, I managed this because on my wet palette I like to add a few different tones. And then between these different tones, base, midtone and highlight, I blend the colors on the palette to create midtones between the tones. And then when I paint, I can add them gradually. So if we start with the base tone on the miniature, I then add the midtone between my base and midtone, and then I add a clean midtone, then a mix between my midtone and highlight, and then finally just add a clean highlight. And adding these different steps when I highlight gives me super smooth transitions, makes stuff look amazing, and you don't need an airbrush to get these really nice highlights. Of course, there's a lot to placement of highlights to make these things look great, but it's a good start to at least practice layering because that's the technique you're going to use the most, and it's the thing that's going to speed up your painting process if you learn. Number 3. Wet blending, or as it's called in some scenes, wet on wet. It's a technique you can use when you want to have a smooth transition between 2 different tones or colors, starting on one end and ending on another one. It's called wet blending because you blend the different colors on the miniature before they dry. The most common paints that we use on miniatures is acrylics, and these paints dry very fast, meaning that if you use this technique, you need to be very fast, relentless, and fearless. I like to load up a lot of paint on my wet palette so I can work fast between the different paints without hesitation. You might have to go back and forth between the colors that you have to get the effect that you're looking for, but be brave, go a bit nuts with this. For this flaming sword, for example, I'm going from red to orange and doing it fast. Since orange have a little bit of a low pigment density, I sometimes have to go back twice to make sure that I get a full coverage. But with other colors such as green or blue, you should be fine just doing one layer. And when dry, as you can see, it looks pretty damn sweet. But before we continue with this list, let me talk about this week's sponsor, Titancraft, who made a software where I can customize any monster I want, just like the one I'm painting today. Titancraft is a two-man team consisting of Jared and Andrew from Arizona. About 4 years ago, they made a D&D customizer called Desktop Hero, where you can make a hero pretty much any way you want. Over the last period, these two guys decided that they wanted to up their game a bit, not only making heroes for D&D, but actually letting you customize monsters and encounters in any way you want and have them delivered to your door. How about an aberration with spider legs or a T-Rex with angel wings and a classy hat? It's really up to you to decide how much you want to scare your players in the game. They are currently running a Kickstarter where they have options for 14 customizable monsters. You'll be able to design your own monsters and get them both as physical copies or 3D printable files if that's what you prefer. At time of filming this, they're about 600% funded, with new monsters being unlocked in the stretch goals. They also have a demo where you can play around with the custom aberration right now. So if you're the least interested in this cool project and the monsters, please guys, check out the link in the video description and maybe try out their demo for the aberration. Number 4, dry brushing. A lot of these names are really self-explanatory. Okay. Dry brushing is a great technique. A lot of people discard it as a simple technique for beginners, but it can be used in so many versatile ways. One of my friends, Byron, over at Artis Opus, have done amazing paint jobs only using a dry brush. And it's really a great technique if you want to add highlights quickly and define features on miniatures in a more general shape. There are many different schools and ways of dry brushing, but the way that I like to do it is use these brushes specifically made for dry brushing, or with cheaper makeup brushes. You can also do it with old regular paint brushes that you use for miniatures, but once you start dry brushing a miniature with a brush, the brush pretty much gets ruined for details because the hair starts pointing in all kinds of different directions. So my recommendation is to use a brush that's already destroyed or one that's specifically made for makeup or dry brushing. Load up the paint you want to have in your brush and make sure to wick off all of the excess paint on a piece of paper, a piece of wood, or whatever you have that can remove the paint from your brush. And once the brush is pretty much dry, then you can start brushing on your miniature wherever you want the raised edges to be highlighted or darkened, depending on which color you have in your brush. The good thing about dry brushing is they leave all the recesses, the nooks and crannies, all of these areas that are folded inwards without paint, and all the ones that are raised will be hit by your brush. One thing to note when dry brushing though, make sure that the brush is really dry before painting. If you don't, you're going to get speckles and weird spots of areas where you get these big blotches of paint, so it needs to be really dry. And also with some dry brushes and some ways of dry brushing some paints, you'll get this really sort of dry speckly texture from dry brushing. So play around a bit before you start dry brushing that super expensive model that you just picked up. Make sure that you know how your brush works and how it feels with that specific paint, so you don't ruin a really nice model with dry brushing in a way that you don't know exactly how it works. But sometimes these textures actually adds to the miniatures, so it doesn't have to be a negative thing that you get these super fine speckly textures. Number 5, edge highlighting. Edge highlighting is a fantastic technique to frame different parts of your miniature. But use it wisely, because if you overdo it, you're going to have a super cartoony effect on your miniature. And that doesn't have to be negative, but if that's not the look you're going for, be a little bit more selective on where you put it. When wanting to edge highlight something, it can really make parts of miniatures pop quite a bit. And when edge highlighting, you're not using the tip of your brush like you do when you, for example, do layering or wet blending. You're actually using the side of your brush against the edge of the miniature. So load up your brush full with paint and then wick off any excess that you have in the brush, and then use the edge of your brush on the edge of your miniature, and you're gonna get a super smooth, super fine line. And this technique might seem super simple. Again, it's quite easy to get into, but to master it, it might take quite a lot of practice. So don't be discouraged if it's not perfect from the get-go. Keep at it, practice more and more, and you'll get better and better. And this technique is perfect for using when painting armor, for example, on miniatures, when painting super sharp edges on Space Marines, or when you're doing Dungeons and Dragons miniatures. Maybe it's more common in weapons, for example, if you want to edge highlight on axe or a sword or something like that. So there you go, it's a quick rundown of my favorite techniques, the way that I use brushes and paints to make my miniatures look great, using only these sort of basic techniques, not void blending, feathering, and super difficult glazes in thousands of layers. So be brave, give them a try, and maybe in a video in the future we can cover the more advanced ones to make you step up your painting game to the next level. So guys, if you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you want to see more hobby videos every week. Check out the sponsor from this week if you want to maybe build your own monster for your Dungeons and Dragons games. And if you want to support this channel, there's a couple of ways you can do that. I have amazing people over at Patreon pledging a few dollars every month to make sure that I can run this channel. A massive shout out to all of my top Patreon supporters. You guys are amazing. In the video description and on my website squidmar.com, I also put links to all of the tools that I use, all of the paints that I have. And if you want to pick up any of that stuff or have any questions about what I use, you can follow those links, and Amazon or my other affiliates kick a little bit of money back to this channel to make sure that I can run this and make videos every week. So guys, with that said, I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.
We're gonna build and paint some minis, and I'm gonna show you the stuff that I wish I knew when I was getting started. Okay, let's get to it. I love it when people tell me that they're starting to paint minis. This is a great hobby, and it's something that anyone can enjoy. I want tutorials like this one to be accessible and useful to everyone. My target audience for this video is myself from 1998, the kid who's on his way home with his first box of Warhammer minis. If I could send one how-to video back in time to that guy, this is that video. It has all the stuff that I wish someone would have taught me back when I was getting started. First tip, support your local game store whenever you can. This is a great place to learn more about the hobby, meet people, and have fun. And of course, it's the place to go when you need a new paint color right now. I bought the Godsworn Hunt Crew from Warhammer Underworlds. This is a board game from Games Workshop with a low model count. These boxes have a complete team of minis with the rules cards for 30 bucks. The first step in assembling these models is to get those bits off of the sprues. Use hobby clippers and put the flat edge of the jaws close to, but not quite flush with, the bit you want. Then, snip it away. If the models are complicated, then it's worth actually paying attention to the instructions and the little numbers printed on the sprues. Be careful not to clip so many bits at once that you forget what's what. Once the bits are off, you can clean them up with a hobby knife. Use the sharp end to carefully slice off the nubs from the attachment points. Be careful not to cut into the model or into yourself. Then, scrape the knife backwards along any mold lines that you see to remove them. I find that it's easier to do this before the model is assembled. If you're working with a model that has these push-fit pins, I recommend that you cut them off and actually glue the pieces together. Sometimes these pins can prevent you from getting a really good fit. Okay, it's time to glue. Super glue is an option for models of any material, but for plastic models made from polystyrene like these ones are, I like to use plastic glue or plastic cement. What I'm using in this video is Tamiya Extra Thin, but there are tons of brands that do the exact same thing. The plastic cement slightly dissolves the plastic so that the two pieces will meld together. Be careful not to get any fingerprints in the soft plastic. Hold the two bits firmly together for a minute or two until they stick. If you're impatient like me, a couple of tiny clamps can be a really useful addition to your hobby desk. I assembled and glued the whole team. One exception is that I didn't glue them to their bases yet. I just used the push-fit pins for now. That will make the bases easier to paint later on. Now it's time to prime our models. I'm using spray paint for this, but there are brush-on options available too if you don't want to use a spray can. Go outside and use double-sided tape or poster putty to stick the models to a piece of wood or cardboard or plastic or something. The spray paint I'm using is primer from the hardware store. This stuff works just as well as the more expensive stuff. Any bottle of spray primer can give a good prime, and any bottle can give a bad prime. Here are some guidelines. Save your priming for a low humidity day. Preferably, this will be a warm day also, but it's more important that the can is warm than that the air temperature outside is warm. Make sure to really give the spray can a good shake. The goal is to build up some light dustings of paint on the model. Start the spray away from the models and then sweep past the targets. Many light dustings is better than one heavy coat. Don't spray so much that actual liquid builds up on the models. A heavy buildup of paint can obscure details. Worse, the solvents in spray paint can dissolve model plastic and make things look melty. The goal is for the solvent to evaporate in the air. It's okay to prime using 2 or 3 extremely light coats with 20 minutes of dry time in between. If it's cold out, bring the models inside to dry. Bring the can inside also to keep it warm. Here's a fun tip. Although we primed in black, I'm going to give a quick squirt of white paint from directly above. This is called zenithal priming, and you'll see why it's useful in just a moment. It's time to get ready for brush painting. I highly recommend that you get some handles to help you hold your minis while you paint them. You can use empty bottles or blocks of wood with a bit of double-sided tape or poster putty. Several companies even sell handles that are designed for painting minis. My personal favorite is to glue magnets onto the bottom of my minis. Find yourself some handles, there's tons of good options. For this project, I decided to use paints from this Vallejo Game Color introduction box. These paints are made specifically for painting miniatures. There are several companies that make paint for minis. Vallejo is one of my favorites because they've been around for a long time without changing their formula. They have a large product line, and they come in these handy dropper bottles. Just drop the paint onto your palette and get to work. Okay, one more bit of preparation before we get going here. I recommend that everyone use a wet palette. Acrylic paint for minis dries quickly, so using a regular plate as a palette is not ideal. A wet palette is just a damp piece of paper with water reservoir underneath. You can buy them or make them yourself. The homemade version is just a sandwich box with a wet paper towel and a piece of parchment paper on top. I like to get everything wet, then squeegee out the extra water. We're just going for damp. The paint sits on the parchment paper, and water seeping up from underneath keeps it useful for a long time. All this preparation is about to pay off. Let's grab some brushes and get to work. In this video, I'm using these multi-pack craft brushes. I think these were $4 per pack at Walmart. Brushes come in a variety of price points, but these will do just fine for today. That being said, if you're at your local game store and they have a brush with the perfect tip, you should buy it. So I'm going to paint the 5 barbarians in this video and save their dog for later. Painting similar models in a batch can be really efficient. You can go through one color at a time, assembly line style, and by the time you're done painting one color on the last mini, the first mini should be completely dry and ready for the next color. Skin tone is a good color to start with since there is a lot of it on these models. I decided to give these 5 all different skin tones. There's only one color labeled as a skin tone in the paint set, but that's okay. My next tip is that you shouldn't be afraid to mix colors. The wet palette that we just set up is going to make this super easy. On the wet palette, I'm making combinations of the skin tone, beige, and browns that came in the paint set. I'm even trying the light gray and a little bit of red. I was able to make a bunch of colors that are real human skin tones. The nice thing about the wet palette is that it will keep my mixtures fresh and viable for the next day or two, so I have a lot of time to use them. If I really like any of the colors that I find, it's a good idea to write down how many drops of each paint went into my favorites. Then I can mix them up fresh whenever I want. Okay, finally it's time to paint. I use a wet brush to pick up paint from the wet palette. Most paints are too thick out of the bottle. If they're not thinned down a little bit, they'll leave a globby texture on the model with big, ugly brush strokes. A good solution is to water down our paints a little bit and to apply 2 thin, smooth layers instead of 1 thick layer. All paints are translucent to various degrees, so it's completely normal that a single thin coat will show the layers beneath. Even several thin coats will have a hint of the underlying color. This is one reason why we did the zenithal highlight. When one of these barbarians is standing out in the sun, some of their skin will be well lit, and other parts will be poorly lit or shadowed. That squirt of white primer gives a rough indication of where sunshine will land on these characters. When we paint over the primer layer, some of our translucent flesh tone will be over white, some will be over black, and some will be over gray. The difference in the resulting colors is subtle, but it's there and it gives a realistic effect. If you primed your models only with white, the whole model would look brighter when it was painted. If you primed only in black, it would look darker when painted. If you only use a single color to prime with, light gray or tan are actually pretty good choices. I really like this zenithal priming technique though, and there's no reason that a beginner can't do it. That simple squirt of white primer does a lot of work for us. The zenithal highlight is also useful just to help us see all the details on these models. If these models had been primed in a single solid color, it would be harder to see all the different items strapped to these barbarians. The white picks out some details, and it lets me see what each bit is sculpted to be. This way, as I'm painting the flesh, I'm also noticing those other details, and I'm thinking about what colors I want to make them. When deciding which order to paint colors, remember that you can be a bit messy with the first colors that you paint, but for the later colors, you'll have to be more and more careful to color inside the lines. This is one reason that I like to paint flesh first. It's all over the place, and it's also underneath every other object on the model. So carefully painting it all in at a later stage might be a bit tricky. Okay, here we are after 1 coat of flesh tone. And here we are after 2 coats of flesh tone. The next color I painted is black. I'm using this for some armor and also for the big sword and axe. I chose to paint black at this point because it's a good undercoat for painting metallic steel or silver. Next up, I want to paint the steel on the sword and the axe. To do this, I'm going to use a technique called dry brushing. Dip a big brush that you don't care much about in paint, and then wipe most of the paint off onto a paper towel. Then, if you start brushing the model with this brush, each stroke will leave a tiny amount of paint behind. I'm dry brushing the axe and the sword this steel metallic color. Metallic paints don't actually contain metal. They're a combination of a regular color, like gray or yellow, plus some mica dust to make it all shiny. The mica dust and the paint medium used to suspend the mica dust makes metallic paints more fickle than other paints, and we have to worry more about them getting glommed up, especially in big flat areas. Dry brushing is a good way to avoid this. After a while, we've deposited a nice thin layer of steel on the sword blade and the axe head. I like to do dry brushing steps relatively early in the painting because they can be a little bit messy. Next color up is red. You can paint your models any colors you want. I figured red is a good accent color for Chaos Barbarians. I put it on their boot fur and their hair. As a general rule, models tend to look nicer when colors are spread around a little bit. Having red only on the boot fur might make the composition look imbalanced. Having the same shade of red on their boots and on their hair doesn't completely make sense, but it sure does balance out the models. I figure that maybe this crew dyes their hair. I'll show you some tricks later on to make these two reds appear slightly different. For the cloth, I painted gray. These models have more muscles than they have clothes, but they all have a gray loincloth at least. Cloth can be dyed any color, but I chose a neutral color for it because I didn't want it to detract from the red and the black. I'm using as many neutral colors as I can on these intervening bits. Next, the leather and wood parts got painted brown. This paint set didn't have a purple, but it did have 2 browns. This actually makes a lot of sense. Brown is a very common color on minis, and sometimes it's handy to have 2 shades. For example, when a belt has a pouch hanging off it, or a quiver is packed full of arrows, it's handy to have 2 shades of brown. I'm making this medium beastie brown the primary brown, and I'm saving the leather brown color for those places where I really need a second shade. I'm also using brown as an undercoat for metallic gold paint. All paint is at least partially translucent, so learning what colors are good base colors is really useful. Brown is a great color underneath gold. I thought I was going to use a mix of gold and steel for the various metallic knickknacks, but I ended up really liking how the gold looked alongside the red and the black on these models. So I ended up painting almost all the metallic details gold. It's nice to have somewhat of a plan for your color scheme when you're going into a project, but if you discover something that you like better along the way, go with it. Part of the fun of this hobby is trying new things and ending up in unexpected places. I'm running low on details now. Time to paint in the bone. Now that the primer is mostly covered with paint, I'm really starting to notice what details are left. As a side note, I haven't gone back to fix any errors yet. Everything has been a single pass. Maybe 2 coats of a color, but I haven't gone backwards. If you go back to fix errors after every color, you'll never get anywhere. Don't worry, there will be time for neatening up here soon. One of the last colors I used on the figures was the blue for this cloak. Like I said, I want the core colors of the team to be red and black, and the blue really does change how this character presents. I'm okay with that in this case though, because she seems to be the leader, and as a mage, it makes sense for her to have a magic cloak that she found in some far-off land. For a lot of colors, I've been using two thin coats, but you'll find that each color behaves differently. Yellow colors, for example, are almost always highly transparent, while blues tend to give excellent coverage. I only needed one coat of paint for this blue cloak. This isn't related to the brand of paint, this is simply a matter of what pigment molecules are available to manufacturers. There are tons of great pigments available for blue, and less good choices for yellow. Okay, it's time to paint the bases. Since I didn't glue the figures to their bases yet, I pulled them off to make things easier. I love painting bases, it makes the models suddenly look much closer to being complete. A lot of times, I'll save this step as a little treat for myself. Good colors for bases cause the mini to stand out while also giving them context. These bases would have made sense as a wasteland in a brown or a gray, but making them green makes the red really pop. I'm making them a subdued, dark, swampy green because that fits with the wasteland theme, but also because I don't want the base to pull attention from the figure themselves, so darker is better in that respect. The set didn't come with this color of green, so I mixed in the darkest green that it did have with brown and black. Another reason to start with a nice dark green is because it leaves room for highlights, and I am planning to dry brush on some highlights. I put a lighter green onto my brush, wiped most of it off onto a paper towel, and then dry brushed the base. When you dry brush a piece with a lot of texture, the paint gets left on the high points. So in this case, the dark green remains on most of the base, but the raised texture gets highlighted with the lighter color. Then, I did this dry brush highlighting step again with an even lighter green, this time the goblin green from the paint set. This highlighting adds some depth to the swamp texture and makes it look more realistic. Again, I do dry brushing before other steps because it's messy. So next, I'm doing the details on the bases. I still don't need to be too careful here. This is a swamp, and all of the debris is blending in with the muck. Also, if you're doing things right, people won't be paying that much attention to the base. The focus should really be on the figure's face, and the base is just there to give a little bit of context and background. So, quickly, I put on brown for the logs, gray for the stones, beige for the old skulls and bones, and then leather brown for the piles of moss. Now that the base is painted, I glued the models into their final position. Super glue is good for this. Getting the base painted really does make the models look closer to completion, and now is a great time to go through and fix up the models. All of my colors are still conveniently fresh on my wet palette, so it was easy to go through the figures one by one and fix any place that still had exposed primer or just needed a touch-up. At this point, all of the core colors are on the models, but there isn't much in the way of shading or highlighting, and we're missing out on tiny details such as the eyes. Most folks would say that these models have been base coated. What we just got through is one of the more time-consuming parts of the process, and the models are only now just starting to look like tiny people. From here on out, each step is going to be a lot of fun because it's going to add a lot of character to these minis. I also checked to make sure that I still liked the color composition. In this case, I'm liking the red, gold, and black thing that we have going on. I think these colors are distributed pretty nicely around each model. And if I didn't like something, I could absolutely go and repaint it. The next stage in the process is going to be washing and shading, so all of the colors will naturally darken. If you think that some of the colors are currently too light and too bright, the red for example, don't worry, we're about to fix that. Okay, let's pull out some washes. Washes are like very thin paints that run into the crevices of the model. I'm going outside of that Vallejo paint set and pulling in some Games Workshop shades and Army Painter tones. Realistically, I only needed one or two of these, but I wanted to show you the difference between them. I started with Agrax Earthshade from Games Workshop. This is a brown color. I used it on the bases and on the red tassels and hair. You can see how it runs down to the low points and the deepest crevices. It darkens everything by a shade or two, but what's important is that it really darkens those deep points, adding definition and depth. It's making the reds look more real, while also making them a darker, more reasonable color. I also used this Agrax Earth shade on a lot of the gold bits. Brown is a good wash color for gold. Null Oil is a black wash from Games Workshop, and it's particularly good for steel metallic bits. For the cloth and the flesh, I switched to Army Painter shades. The Games Workshop formulation is runny and really penetrates well, whereas the Army Painter formulation is thicker and oozes. I like Army Painter more when the recesses are shallower and the high points are more like gentle curves. These barbarians are jacked, but they aren't shredded. They're yoked, but they aren't really cut. They've got incredible size, but their body fat percentage is still double digits. Extreme muscle definition just isn't quite there. I might use Citadel shade on Bruce Lee, but I like Army Painter better for Vin Diesel. I use the Army Painter washes for this sort of stuff because I think it gives a smoother transition of color. I have a couple of different brownish tones from Army Painter depending on the flesh color. For some of the barbarians, I used Flesh Shade, which is a reddish brown. For others, I used Strong Tone, which is a very dark brown. For the Pale Mage and the Cloth, I used Light Tone, which is a light brown. A dark wash over a light base coat can really dominate it. Strong tone on the lightly colored Cloth or the fair-skinned Mage would be pretty aggressive, and it might not come out looking great. That's why I'm being careful to use a lighter wash on lighter skin. Adding washes to models is such a gratifying step. It instantly adds that depth and definition that make the minis come to life, and it requires very little effort to do. As far as skill goes, I'm spending some time making sure that I'm not leaving any big pools. These will leave weird splotches when they dry. Other than that, I'm just letting the washes do what they want to do. I also put some blue tone on the cape. I actually did this to show you something that you probably shouldn't do. On these wide areas with gentle curves, using a wash is more likely to cause splotchy staining than to do anything appealing. In this case, I was able to control it reasonably well, and it didn't make the cape worse, but it didn't make it better either. Washes make a lot of things better, but they really don't help with wide open areas. So a base coat plus some washes brings us to a really fun place. This is a perfectly legitimate time to call a model done and either put it on your shelf or play some games with it. Let's go a little bit farther though and see where we end up. Let's start by making that dyed hair color look a little different from the boot tassels. I'm going to use dry brushing again to do some highlighting. I'm starting with Fresh from the Bottle Red. This is a good place to start since the red on the model has all been darkened by the washes. Then, I can start highlighting that red even further. Generally, mixing white with a base color gives a good color to highlight with. So, you could highlight red with pink. Mixing yellow with some colors is another way to highlight them. This works well for green, red, and orange. In this case, I'm highlighting the hair with a dry brush of orange. Then, I'm going in with a dry brush of pure yellow. I think this is giving a fun, crazy, barbarian tribe look, which is exactly what I'm going for. Next, I'm going to use the 16th and final color in this Vallejo box set, silver. Metallic colors can be highlighted too. In this case, I'm dry brushing just a bit of silver over the dark steel of the sword and the battle axe. If I were going to take these models to a really high standard, I would go through and highlight every color.
You simply should not exist.
It's all right. We did our best. You convinced me that I was wrong to be ashamed of my true identity, and I thank you for it. Whatever you decide, know that I'm going to my grave with no anger and no regrets.
Touching. Either you execute Dance, or I will, Knight. The choice is yours.
Jans, are we the baddies?
Okay, here's our inventory. We're going to equip the Ebony Dagger because that's really good. We also have a Steel Katana. We have good stuff. But yeah, the Ebony Dagger is like beast. Wow, this map screen is really confusing. It looks like old Blender or something. Okay, now we start the adventure. So my goal is to maybe like, you know, do the main quest, maybe join the Fighters Guild or something, do some smaller quests. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what comes to us. We'll take any challenge we can get. Come here, rat. I can take you. We're taking down rats easily. Remove all this. Holy water. I'll take it. I was just running out of holy water, you know, the one thing I needed. I went to the shop and I forgot to get the holy water on the way home. I was snapping. Bats. We are doing good damage to bats. Imps. Okay, can I take an imp? Oh, I kinda can. Come on. Oh, we killed him. We took the imp down. I'm good at taking down imps. How do I rest? Okay, there we go. The imp actually like almost killed me. Now, I'm not gonna stay in this dungeon too long. Everybody has seen the intro to this game like a million times. We're just gonna do a bad speedrun. We have to hit our head on the ceiling too because it's, you know, compulsory. Where's the thief? I can take you. She went down easily, then I usually take her down. Equip all this. She has a potion recipe. Okay. We have a gold helmet and we're in better form, kinda. Alright, more exploring now. Come here to me, bat. The bats are killing me? How are the bats killing me so easily? I can take down the thieves, but I can't kill the bats. Alright. I mean, he's probably giving me rabies or something. That's probably how I'm dying quickly. There, we took him down. You, the shirtless man of my dreams, come here to me. Do you want to go on a date? What, am I not good enough for you? Why do the shirtless guys always reject me? I'll never know why. Take all his things because that's good stuff. Do you guys like Daggerfall? Do you think it's a good idea for a series? I think it's a decent idea. For a couple of episodes at least. Maybe. If it goes on longer, it goes on longer. If a rat kills me, I'll be very upset. Until fully healed, please. I am healed. And my skills are going up that I've never used. But okay. But yeah, let's get started on moving out of here. Bats, my biggest enemy. Okay, this skeleton actually usually gives me trouble. Hopefully he doesn't give me trouble this time. He's doing good damage to me. He's taking off my health in chunks. Get away from me. And he is down. He had a bow, he has a map. Indicates the lost location of a stronghold of woodcraft. Okay. Dungeons are like everywhere. We don't need that now. Okay. I'm just gonna go straight for the exit. The nice thing about Daggerfall Unity is that you don't fall through the floor every 2 seconds. I'm not gonna go down there. Hi, rat. Okay, the rats are doing decent damage to me now. Heal up. Save, please. Thank you. Overwrite. Why not? Where's the skeleton? Oh, this imp just took down everyone. It's a bloodbath. And I just took him down in one hit. Pathetic. Here's the exit. That was quick. Alright. You know, one thing I wouldn't mind trying is I just want to walk around a bit. If I walk up this mountain, will I like find a town? I think that's like a town over there. Actually, you know what? I can't be bothered. It's too far. Okay, let's just go to Daggerfall. Yes, I would like to go. Travel. Okay, it's nighttime. I don't want to be here at night. What time is it? Oh, it's 20 to 3. It's not really nighttime. It's just dark. Okay. I guess I just look for the Fighters Guild and get a quest for them. Do I wish to surrender to this? Oh, did I just try to steal from him? I'm only just in town. Yeah, I surrender. You're accused of the crime of pickpocketing. 80 gold pieces, I'm guilty. A letter is pressed into your hand, you spin to see who gave it to you, you catch a glimpse of livery that vanishes in the crowd. I think that's for the main quest. Now that we're outside the city, the ghost might come and get us. My name is just going off the corner of the class. That's brilliant. Dear, fight me. I heard about your accident at sea, blah blah blah, allow me to introduce, I'm a lady. Are you now? I will take a room at the inn, the Black Chasm, in the Feather and Cat Inn. The Black Chasm. Is that somewhere I can find? Oh, here it is. I went the Black Fawn, that's not it. Okay, how do I find the Black Chasm? The Feather and Cat. And Cat... Oh, we found it. Okay. Yes, take me there. 45 gold. Probably should have gone to a merchant while I was in Daggerfall, but there might be one here. Info mode. Are you the Black Chasm? The Flying Priest. Hello. I really like that song, the Tavern song. Guess I should be in dialogue mode. Anyone nearby? Not really. I don't know if this is it. Hello? What the hell do you want? A fight? Yeah, I want to fight you. What in is this? I had work, but I hired a fighter school to do it. Okay. Talk. I have an embarrassing predicament. Understanding. Whoever is being distressed. I've been challenging a duel. I've been challenged to a duel. Alright. The Wicking Residence. Where is the Wicking Residence? Oh, here's the woman I was supposed to find. I just pressed on her, finding info for the other quest, but okay. Thank you for responding. I'm Lady Briscian. Let me bring you to date on our affairs. Date? Affair? You're going very quick for me. You need to slow down. We've only just met. I haven't bought you dinner yet. To investigate who might have wronged Lysandus to find the cause of his torment. I do not know the royal family. Blah blah blah. The letter the Emperor said he was unable to hand deliver to the Queen because of the war. Good luck and watch your back. Okay, we need to go to like towns and find out information. Okay, we'll do that soon. What I want to do is find the Wicking Residence. General, the Wicking Residence. Oh, it's marked on my map. Thank you, you lovely man. Now that I turned in the quest for like the main quest, does that mean I don't have the time limit anymore to worry about? I can just get to that when I want, because that's kind of what I want at the moment. What am I doing? Wicking Residence, okay. Here we go. They're right here. It should be this house. I'm just gonna fight this man. Can I go in? A jolly voice says, welcome to my house. I would not say that if some randomer just came up to my door. Nice Windows 95 maze house. There's like no one here. Excuse me, I'm lost. This is a labyrinth. Hello? Are you the one I'm supposed to challenge? I mean, my name is Fight Me. He looks like a Twilight character. Last time I checked, it was just keep going west. But I'm here. This is it, right? This is preposterous. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. But you may have 199 gold pieces. Okay, I guess I don't have to fight. I kind of wanted to fight you. This isn't the same tavern. I think it's the one over here. Oh, we have a sprint button. If I press shift, we can run fast. Which tavern was it? I'm getting a bit lost now. Okay, it's up here. Talk. You were supposed to impersonate me. What? Okay, goodbye. Screw this, I'm going to Daggerfall. Let's get a quest to go to a dungeon. Let's do something interesting. Let's go to town, find a merchant, sell our stuff, and go to a dungeon if I can find it. It's a big old foggy day. I just need a general store. That's all I want. That's all I want. You, general store. Just any, I don't care. A little more wandering around. I've been wandering around for 2 hours. Alright, you're a cunt. She's been a bit of a prat. Oh, here we go. It's right in front of me. Oh, was she making fun of me because it was right behind me? I'm going to keep the steel katana because it seems useful. You can have a bracelet, you can have a shirt. And yeah, 200 gold. That is nothing. Thank you. But Fighters Guild. You, guilds. Fighters Guild. Keep going east. I don't think this is it. This is like the Mages Guild, I think. Oh, this is the Fighters Guild. Open from 11 to 11 at night. Okay. I'm gonna loiter for 3 hours. Is that enough? Now we can go in. Okay. You, let me join. Dialogue mode. Join guild. You look like the sort of warrior we could use. My name is Fight Me. Your rank is apprentice. Okay, give me a quest. Howdy, fight. I got a few days free. Booked some giant killing. Alright. Perinac Laboratory. Okay. So we're going to Perinac Laboratory. Is that a dungeon or is it like a house? Laboratory. Is that how you spell laboratory? Oh, I found it. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Is this it? Your eyes suddenly sting. Your eyes suddenly sting, rather. This might be bad. We're going to save outside the dungeon just to be safe because it's Daggerfall after all. Okay. Now we do some exploring. Hello, Archer. You're doing damage to me. Oh, he just went down. Okay. Elven Claymore. Treat 19. That's stupid good. That's mine. Now we have like a really good sword. That's fantastic. We're still like level 1, I think. We haven't leveled up at all yet. Sorcerers are going down easy. I never bought a wagon. I should have bought a wagon. Wagons are good because it gives you like a lot of inventory space. Is that water? Something's shooting at me. Who's shooting at me? Someone is. Yeah, someone up there is shooting at me. I guess I have to go into the water. Jump down in. Oh, there's slaughterfish here trying to kill me. Okay, fish are scary in this game. Just swim, just go through. I can't even see now. I can't see. Okay, up. Alright. I don't know how to do this. What did I just do? Okay, there's a door here. We can go through here. Okay. What are the control? I think I casted a spell. How do I ready spell? Because I think I have restoration, Q, recast spell. Okay, so it should be Q. Okay, it's not that. Do I have like a spellbook? Spellbook, shock, chameleon. Oh, okay, I just have shock and that's it. You don't have the spell points. Oh, okay, whatever. I thought I would have had like a healing spell, but I guess I need to find one at some point. Up here we go. You look strong. And he went down. We're getting good items, at the very least. She took off a lot of my health. Iron shield. I'll equip a shield. Oh no, I can't equip a shield with a claymore. That's an issue. Something's already wanting to kill me. Oh, okay. I just poked him and he died. Steel greaves. Yeah, it wasn't mine. Now our armor rating is going up a lot. Oh, it's you. That kind of scared me. Tower shield, I'll take that. I'll take you. I'll equip you. Elven pauldrons. Okay, how do I remove the katana, remove the helmet, remove you, so I can equip you? We have elven armor already. That's stupid good. Can I rest? There's enemies nearby. Just let me rest. Come on, now we can rest. You are healed. That I am. I just locked myself into this room. We should just stay here for the entire journey. I'm sick of dungeoning. I'm just gonna stay here and be a hermit. Okay, I'm bored now. Let's leave. The music just stopped abruptly. Dead end. We're going to encounter a lot of dead ends in this game. If you think the dungeons look a bit boring, well, get used to it. This is how they all look all the time. They are very confusing to get through. I am already lost and I have no idea how to get back. Okay, we took her down. I almost died, but we got her down. I'm surprised I haven't like leveled up yet. Like I could use the health boost. Okay, we're back to the entrance. That's not good. So we're looking for a giant. I imagine a giant's going to be kind of hard to kill because we have not much going for us. We have some elven stuff, an elven sword. Oh, you came out of nowhere. Sorcerers are going down, boys. Okay. Oh, someone dropped their skull. I might want to return it to them. Did you drop your skull? You look a little skull-headed. Remove. Elven broadsword. That's good because I could probably use that with a shield if I need extra defense. Fantastic. Chain boots, 6. Leather boots. Equip the chain boots. That's good. More good stuff. Surprisingly, a lot of elven. Equip your sword. Equip. Why did you unequip your sword? Where's my claymore? Yes, equip that. Get out your sword. Get out yours. I'm pressing the button. Get out your... Thank you. Okay, luckily she went down easy, but that could have been bad. Okay. Steel is very heavy. Enemies nearby, we can't rest. Okay. Hello. You look, skulking. We're taking him down easy, which is really surprising. Dragon scales, that looks cool. That's worth a lot. An enchanted buckler, I'll take it. And, not much else, but good stuff. Can I rest now? Fully healed. Long blades going up, stealth's going... Can I level up? I should be leveling up. This looks, dangerous. There you are, the arrow fella. I'm gonna kill you. Or your woman. Fair play to you. Not much else. There's a shrine here. It looks very pretty. There's a guy over there. Or another woman with a bow. Don't know how to get over to her. I think I can go up and around from here. I just hope this dungeon isn't too big. I think it is, and that's going to be an issue. Okay, I've already been here. Ah, our first death of the dungeon. I'm surprised it took us that long to die. Okay, back in action. It's around here. You. I'm back. Alright, we got him down. Elven flail. Give me the elven flail now, thank you. We're getting good stuff. We're gonna have a lot to sell. Could this be the door to our quest? Is he inside? Probably not. Hello, woman. She went down. Yeah, not much else. Oh, I'm sorry, I killed your friend. Can I level up like any minute now? I'm increasing my skills by a lot. Nothing but battle mage women in the dungeons, and they all have elven. Give me the elven. Mine now. Can't rest. There's enemies nearby. Okay, this dungeon is going to be long-winded and confusing. But hey, we're doing something. Oh, I leveled up, thank feck. Strength, endurance, agility is always good. More strength. And yeah, level 2. Our name is Took us a while to level up. Okay, looking for a giant. You're not a giant. Okay, that's all for now. We got some healing done. Okay, now I'm like speedrunning. Where's our objective? Where's the guy? I want to kill him. It's just women. Nothing but women. It's like paradise. See this here? Very sneaky. But this is a door. We can open. Oh, a spider! Kill the spider. Come on. Kill the fella. This lock is not interfere from you. I have lockpicking as a skill. Is there a lockpicking mode? It does not unlock. Come on, keep trying. Keep trying. Keep trying. Okay, I'm just gonna beat it down. Come on. Open. There we go. This part looks interesting. You. Okay, there's loads of people around. This could be an issue. Just get me around. Okay. Oh no, there's so many people here. Elven longsword, 317. That's very good. Elven tanto, that's very good too. We're gonna have so much stuff to sell. Okay, she just followed me. Okay, we took them all down. Okay, we're doing extremely well. Can I rest? There's enemies nearby. Okay, just let me rest. This is dangerous. Chain gauntlets. Okay, equip. Elven dagger. Remove. Okay, we're actually doing too good. Okay, there's not much to this dungeon. So, I've been recording for a while. I think we're gonna wrap it up kind of soon if I don't encounter the giant. There's enemies nearby. Who wants to kill me? Oh, it's just you. Hello. You can go down. I said you can go down anytime you want to. Oh, I just knocked her off. Oh, something killed me too. Oh, that would have been cool if we knocked her off and could escape. So yeah, for now, I think that's a good place to end off. Our skills are going up. There's people down there. I can deal with them later. That's a problem for episode 2. Oh, you're trying to... We're going to continue with more Daggerfall today. We're just going to take a chill, try to beat this dungeon. There's people down here, right? Yeah, there's this fella. I can search this corpse that's just hanging on the side. Oh no, I'm over encumbered. I forgot gold has weight in this game. Can I remove you? Alright, let's try to fight this fella. Hello, how are you? So we're doing a dungeon in that we have to find a giant in this. It's for a quest for the Fighters Guild. So yeah, now we just have to find this giant in the huge labyrinth that is the Daggerfall dungeon. This dungeon could be the whole episode because yeah, Daggerfall can be a bit convoluted. Its dungeons can be huge. And everything looks the same, and it's difficult to get around. So yeah, it's, you know, we could be here a while. Come on. Thank you, he went down. Steel boots, chain boots, armor rating of 6, armor rating of 9. Alright, better armor. I think we're still level 2, right? I should be able to check my grab mode. I'd want to be in grab mode. Yeah, we're level 2. We almost have 1,000 gold. Our name is, we're Nord. Our name is Fight Me. And we're gonna do this dungeon. Can I rest? Okay, where are these fellas? Oh, am I just back to the entrance now? Yeah, I'm back to the beginning. Okay. This giant is gonna be pretty hard to find. Yeah, I've been here already. I'm gonna be so turned around. There's just all these dead bodies I've left in my wake. Okay, let's try and go to the far side around here, see if we can find anything interesting. Yeah, if we try and look at our map, it's an absolute nightmare. How are you supposed to, like, you know, make sense of this? I think the green is the entrance, right? The red is us. I've no idea where to go. Where do we? I've just hit multiple dead ends. Anything in here? This looks new. And no, there's nothing here. Oh, there's treasure. Oh, the music is so like foreboding. I think we should go down here. Yeah, I haven't explored this area much. There's an archer over there who wants to shoot at me. Let's try and get the archer. Oh, this is so confusing. I mean, how am I supposed to do this? I'm so turned around. It all just looks the same. I am running in circles. If I can just get back to the place we were at the beginning. Okay, so I need to start from here. I'm going to make a save so I don't get lost. I need to get over to where he is, but I can't jump over. I can go down into the water where the slaughterfish are, but like they're going to destroy me in a couple of hits. Unless I can like find some way to kill the slaughterfish. Dead ends, just dead ends everywhere. Okay, I guess we're going back to the beginning if we can find it. Okay, slaughterfish, you're mine now. Come on, we're doing good damage, come on. Oh, there's 3 of them, I can't fight 3. I can't fight 3 of them. Oh, God, this is a problem. All right, round 2. Look up, please. Yeah, look up, camera. They're just gonna destroy us in a couple of hits. Come on. I can't even look at them. I can only kill 1. Okay, one more try. Just hit one of them. Just hit one. Just hit one. Just, okay. Yeah, so this dungeon isn't going very well at the moment. Let's try to go back to that place we were at the beginning of the episode, that like ledge thing. There's probably some stuff around there. I think I can climb up back that way. Maybe? Let's see if I can. We're kind of doing it. Oh, okay, we're up. I'm going to save while I'm up here because, yeah, I don't want to get lost again. Not much in the way of places I can go. I've been here. Oh, no, I haven't been here. Somewhere new. Yay. There's like so many enemies. Oh, God, there's like 4 enemies here. The mouse controls are acting so jumpy. Elven boots? Yeah. Equip those. Mummy wrapping? Okay. Holy tome. Can I do something with that? Okay, some better armor. I'll take all the defense I can get. Can I rest? I am healed. All my skills are going up. We're going up in the world. Am I sure I haven't been here? Oh man, don't tell me this is another dead end. Please, I need some progress. What's down here? Oh, there's stuff here. This lock has nothing to fear from me. Wait, don't I have lock picking as a skill? Does not unlock. Can I keep trying? Okay, you just burst the door open. And down he goes. Steal what a waddy? Huh. Okay. Okay, what's around here? Is there a giant maybe I can kill and get out of here? Hi, you. buy you Elven Saber. That looks brilliant. I have so much Elven stuff. Hopefully that Elven is worth a lot. I'm sure it is. Okay, there's a lot of paths for me to go down. Hi, Skull. Anything interesting here? No? Just a summoning ritual room. Not much here. Simple goings. It's a good thing I'm not using Daggerfall Unity, so there's not as many bugs and things. I'm getting so turned around. Come on, giant, giant. I need a giant in my life and in the game. They're all just going down so easily. Are these holy tomes worth taking? I'm gonna take them. Nothing new here. Oh, that's nice. Is that your pet bird? Hello. Bye. Oh, that's a good helmet. Come on, I need to remove arrow, I guess. Let me equip something. All right, we have a nice helmet. Here's a big open room. I have a feeling the giant is up in this room. Call it a hunch. Can I climb up here, or I might be able to? Oh, I can see through the world. Okay. Okay, can I get down? All right. Let's see. Maybe I can. If I can clip on the edge, maybe. No, I can't. Come on. Come on, get on the side. Get on the side, maybe. Come on. Okay. If I sprint jump. No, I can't grab onto the ledge. I have a feeling we're getting close. I mean, we have to be at some point. Where's the map? Okay, can I zoom out? If I go here and go left, I can go up. We can go up here, but does it lead anywhere? It doesn't. No. Okay, I need to get to the second floor. But I'm unsure how to from here. I just need to look around more. Oh, here's a door. Can I defeat you? Oh, you have a bow. And they go down. Saints hair, okay. I could do with some saints hair. If I go into steal mode and I press on the door, I open the door. Well, what do you know? I was just gonna ask, if I do that, does it improve my lockpicking? And yeah, apparently it does. I just use my lockpicking skill. Okay, this goes down. I don't think down is where we want to be going. Might go down and up. No, it just goes straight down. What is that door? I've never seen a door with a moon on it before. Is it like a banner? Oh, it's banner. Okay. There's so many different ways to be going. Nothing up here, no secret doors. We also have to pray that the giant isn't in like a secret door, because this game has secret doors, and if you don't find it, yeah, sometimes there's enemies hidden behind them. And they could be just like hidden in the walls or something, you know? It's kind of bullshit. Oh, here's just a classroom. Icon. I'll take an icon. I want that icon. You give me that icon. Thank you. If we're getting one piece of treasure here, it's that icon. Let's try going down here. Okay, I've been here. Anything through this door?